Alrighty. So you're on Deckard this game. Tell me a little bit about when you choose to pick Deckard in a draft.
Uh, Follow-up CC usually um when my tank player picks like ETC or a noob.
Okay.
I like Deckard.
He's really strong as a follow-up CC, specifically against heroes that don't have mobility. So like slows are very impactful, but they become less impactful against something that has a blink or a vault or something like that. So if you're playing
Right.
against heroes that don't have something of that nature, then Deckard can get a lot of value because you can just guarantee that you're going to land your slows and roots. As far as the heal type from Deckard, one of the biggest issues with Deckard as a healer is that all of his healing is single target, which means that I wouldn't pick him too early in drafts because he can be countered purely by a damage type. And he did have his potion healing buffed recently, so I think he's actually quite viable currently. But he's also susceptible a bit to dive. So
Yeah.
one thing that you have to be a little bit worried about as Deckard right now is mana sustain. On a map like Battlefield of Eternity, I would hesitate to pick Deckard just because a lot of the match is going to be played in a place where there's no globes. I like Deckard on maps where there's ideally double lane rotation between top and mid or something, like on Tomb of the Spider Queen, because then you have double globe spawning. But
Yeah, I'd never considered that before.
well, we'll see this game if you have some mana problems with it.
I usually do.
Okay, so as far as the rest of your draft goes, you have Solane, Varian, Anubarak, Tychus, and Li Ming. All right. And they have Hanzo, Zarya, Arthas, Tyrande, and Thrall. Do you think which team do you think has better race?
I think my team has better race at 4.
Okay. I think I think you guys are a little bit faster, but not by that much. Some of the things that you have to take into consideration are the Tyrande trait. Hanzo, if he goes for the W build, can do quite a lot of burst damage to the Immortal if he lands his scatter correctly. Zarya shouldn't do that much unless she starts out at very high energy. If she starts at high energy, she can have a pretty good race. And Thrall has okay race as well. But you guys have very strong race in these two heroes. And Varian, I'm assuming, is going to go for Twin Blades this game as the solo laner.
Go Smash.
Oh, he goes Smash? Okay. Smash is better into Arthas specifically for sure, and still does quite a lot of DPS, so that's fine. You also have a very decent long range poke with the Li Ming, so that's good for the Immortal as well. So let's take a look. So one thing we're going to be focusing a lot on is potion placement, pre-potioning, and then just looking for those opportunities to land your combo. So far, so good. All right, so here's an opportunity. Basically, you can use your combo here as a very defensive tool. Since there's a double route that just connected, you can go for a combo in this area to deny their team from trying to capitalize on this double route. Okay, don't need it. Alright, so here you go for the first combo. The target is the Arthas. So your combo does connect. It is... Oh, so close to being a kill. Okay, if Li Ming just follows up a little bit sooner, that's a kill. That was good execution, though. So even though you don't get the kill, it's still very possible to take this camp right now, since you know that Arthas got so low that he has to back. Just gotta make sure you go do that quickly. So yeah, the goal here is to take the... Oh, that's a nice chunk damage.
Yeah, we weren't very decisive about that call.
Yeah. I forgot to ask, what rank is this at, roughly?
This is NGS Div 2. We're all around, like, high plat, low diamond.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Anubrak stayed a little bit too long there. That's not your fault. So yeah, you can give this camp. That's not the end of the world, but you do have to make sure you're grabbing this camp at a good time. The general time to do this is around 2 minutes, and between 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And getting this camp down here is basically just something that helps you to time this one correctly. That's how it sort of works.
Okay.
So they're doing exactly what they should be doing based on the timer. You are also on that. That's good, but you also have to clear this afterwards. So you're going to be potentially a little late on the objective. So this is a little bit too early to capture this as well. You generally want to capture it at the earliest 15 seconds before the immortal spawns, because you want it to be you don't want it to be in the lane before the objective spawns, because that gives them a chance to clear it without really giving up anything defensively.
15 seconds at the earliest, and like, what do you like generally like it to be more ideally?
I mean, the later the better. Like if you can cap it at the same time, maybe 5 seconds before the objective spawns, so you have time to get in position for the to defend or race or whatever you're going to do. You just don't want to give the enemy team an option of clearing it before you get some sort of value off of it. The whole point of this camp is it's something that has to be dealt with at some point, otherwise it'll take a fort on its own eventually. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, camp timing still something we're not
Sure, absolutely. It's always something that can be better. All right, so yeah, it looks like because you captured yours a little early, they're going to be able to, before the immortal even spawns, they're going to go ahead and clear it. So if you capped it maybe 10 seconds later, this thing is not dead. Theirs is still pushing now because they timed theirs slightly better than yours. They still capped it early, but not as early. So the immortals have spawned, so this is not getting cleared. You guys are full on racing, which is good. Looks like you guys get the big head start on the race. That's actually fantastic for you guys. So that gives you the free clear of this during the halftime. I'm glad to see that you guys all committed to that race right there as 5. Really good. This is also in fantastic race position as well. So now it's just a matter of having your team sort of split. So you want to have Li Ming on this side up here, and the rest of your team more defensive on this side, maybe one person down here who's safe, just kind of poking the immortal. They have to try and defend it as 4 and have one person try and race, probably Hanzo, if they ever want to try and win this. So you have a 4 versus 5 scenario where you're not really looking to fight underneath the immortal, but you definitely want to continue doing damage to it. And if you can get a kill, then that's great too.
Okay.
Okay, so this split is a little awkward. They're closing the gap right now with the Hanzo on the immortal, and they're zoning you out as 4, mainly because you guys are kind of funneled into this choke. I only want to see maybe 2 heroes, probably you and Tychus in this area, and then I'd like to see like Anubrak and Li Ming here, Anubrak up here, maybe Varian down here. That's the sort of split I want to see, so that no matter which way they try and run towards, you have tools of escape, tools of, but you can always be poking it from different angles.
Alright, that's good. That's good.
This is really bad, right? So hard engaging underneath the immortal, especially as the stun is about to spawn, is extremely dangerous. Nubrak gets caught in the stun as well. You do know that it's a 4 versus 5, so if you have a perfect opportunity to do it, by all means, force a 4v5. But this was not it, and he gets very hard punished, and this could lead to multiple kills. A really good root placement. I don't know if this was a turn. Yeah, okay. So trade kill right now is okay. You get Li Ming reset, you get more, but you don't have Calamity yet. Double kill is pretty good. That was all kind of off the back of that root, so that was really well done. But it does look like you guys are going to lose the objective. So that definitely shouldn't happen, right? You had the massive lead in the beginning, so it's just a matter of converting that early game advantage to the rest of the objective, and you have to do that by approaching from different angles just to continue racing.
Okay.
Some compositions you can't do that with, but with a Li Ming composition you can. Even Tychus throwing a grenade every so often. Everything helps. Looks like you guys had a pause here. Okay. So the objective spawns, we have Varian top, everybody else bottom. This is fine. It's a pretty low shielded immortal, it's not a problem, but you guys need level 7, and you want to burn this as soon as possible. Very important to deny Zarya shields if possible here, because she can do a lot of damage if she gets fully stacked. So instead of focusing down the Arthas here, while the gate's still up, I'd like to see everyone focusing on doing as much damage as possible to the immortal. The real goal here is to prevent them from being able to take the fort. I think right now Tychus is focusing a little bit too much on heroes and not enough on the objective. Okay. Here we go. Alright. So I see you, yeah, you went for Ruby. Yeah, and Field Study. Okay. Cube Mastery. Okay. So I think Ruby as a general rule is really good against multiple melee, because if you can land these big Horagic cubes, you can spawn a lot of these heals that actually heal for quite a lot. They're quite deceptive. Each one of these heals for like, I think 70% or so of one of these. So it's a very
it's like
significant.
20 less. It's like basically the same.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, they buffed it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really, really solid value, but specifically good against multiple melee. Their composition, I would be surprised if you can hit more than 2 on average against this composition. Like, they don't have like a melee diver really in their format, at least, besides the Thrall. So I'm still okay with the pick. It's just it's a little bit anti-synergy with Anubrak specifically, because Anubrak doesn't want to dive in and stay in. It would be a lot better with something like an Arthas on your team, for example, because Arthas doesn't have an escape, so he wants to be able to stay in as long as he possibly can, and that enables him to do it. Same with Johanna or Garrosh, heroes that don't have mobility. It's a little bit anti-synergy with the mobility tanks, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll end up being handy for Anubrak to stay alive too. Okay, so that's a pretty decent defense. Not too much damage taken on your fort. This is a little bit of an awkward stage of the game where there's really not much to do. There are, like, this camp and this camp are the only things that are really available. Generally speaking, if you're the team that won the first Immortal, the best thing you can possibly do is quickly do this camp right before the objective is about to die or something. So you just get that immediately out of the way, and then rotate, get the second one, then go for the third one. It'll be perfectly timed if you do it in that order. But as the defending team, there's not a whole lot you can do. You guys are slightly behind on experience, so it would be better for you guys to take a fight, sort of, just because if you don't take any risks at this point, they do hit level 10 first, and that could translate to a free camp or a team fight taken. So I think you guys can be a little bit more aggressive on this camp potentially, to try and force. You'd have to be in position to do it, but they do have a very strong brawly comp with the Zarya and the Arthas, so you got to be careful. Okay, so you're going for the double 2-man gank here. This is really good too. I like this. He steps up, and there you go. Really good. Now you guys definitely take this camp. This one's going to be up in 4 seconds. You should probably go for that too. So that's being taken. Soaking. Nobody's taking this camp, unfortunately. I guess, yeah, okay. So you guys are equal in experience now. You have this camp pushing, which is good. And you guys are in better position to be going for a race. So they're doing this camp, but they're very late for this one, right? So you guys should be able to get free halftime. Maybe if a kill, but I think halftime's better. So they cap their camp, but this is a free halftime, if not very close to it. If you can just disengage. Successful disengage. They're still, okay, so now they're going to do the 4-1 split. You have to do the exact same thing as before. You have to be able to, you want to get this halftime as soon as possible because of the fact that Hans is going to be dealing damage and that's going to just whittle down the shield slowly. So you guys have to step up. The moment you see any damage on the Immortal, that's your cue to go because you know that they're not 5. And yeah, so they're going to be trying to absorb Li Ming damage from different angles, so that's why you have to be approaching from multiple sides.
Yeah.
Once again, same issue. Anubrak dives in against an Arthas underneath the objective, and he lands on top of a stun. Okay. It's just very, you know, this whole section right here is very bad because you have this little choke point where it's extremely easy to land skill shots. Both Zarya is landing, I'm sure, big grenades. Thrall can land multi-person roots. His chain lightning is going to spread infinite times. Arthas can land big roots, big stuns, etc., etc. So definitely don't want to be funneling too much into these chokes. And there we have the stun land because of the fact that he gets body blocked by his own team, right? And all this time, Hanzo has dealt probably like 30% damage. All the while, you guys could have gotten halftime almost immediately by approaching it from a side view. Yeah. So you guys give up 40% damage on the Immortal for free right there, just by approaching from one angle instead of multiple. The real key to doing the multi-angle approach is just to make sure that whichever people you have on the outskirts have escape. So Anubrak has to be one of those heroes, and I think Li Ming wants to be sort of in here, probably, and then maybe Varian up here, or Varian can be on this side with Tychus either here or up here. They're going to do the exact same thing. It's been working very well for them, yeah. Hanzo 4-1 split. So you guys have 10 now. So with the 10 advantage, I think you guys can go for a fight underneath the Immortal, but you have to be very decisive about it because you're slowly losing, right? So you have to cocoon something and immediately dive. I think against this composition, you can cocoon either Zarya or Arthas in the team fight, and then go for a kill on either Thrall or Tyrande, depending on positioning. But what's important is that Li Ming has direct line of sight on whichever target you're going for. So just going for straight poke is not really working right now. Let's see. So yeah, Arm Eagle's right. It goes out, so I would probably go for the cocoon on the Arthas. He's also right next to the Tychus, slowing down his auto attacks and stuff. All right, let's see. Where are you in this situation? Are you in here? I can't really tell.
I'm on the left.
Oh, you're here. Okay. Okay, so you go for the stay a while as a counter to the Earthquake. It does decently over here to stall them from pushing in. Okay, the Arthas Cocoon does come out, but it's just a little too late. You have another Heradric. Nice. Really good. Good placement. So yeah, the same exact thing happens. You're getting ahead on the objective race and then falling behind due to execution on the objective. Okay, topping off. This one's pretty decently shielded too. It's kind of annoying. I'd be pretty surprised if you guys keep your fort this time.
Yeah, I think we give it.
Yeah, that's the right call. So as soon as this objective goes down, it'd be decent for you guys to take a fight, but you don't have Varian. Okay, I don't know if I agree with this. So having Varian down here, you can maybe get the wall, but you're on the same talent tier right now, and you're not behind a talent tier, so there's really no immediate need to soak. This is something I would do if you have level 9 to level 10 or 12 to 13 or whatever, and you want to make sure you catch that experience talent tier catch up. But right now, by showing Varian down here, you're saying, oh, this is 4v5. We can play this really aggressively. So if I'm on this team, I literally walk underneath the towers and start zoning the enemy team away from the objective so that you can't do damage to it. And they have a Zarya, so they can tank some short shots as well. Let's see how much they get for this now.
They get the keep.
They get the whole keep, yeah. I think that's a direct response to having Varian not present. This is why they play so aggressive, and it works. Yeah, that's a dead keep. That's unfortunate. Okay, get the camp. That's a consolation prize, I guess. They're going for the top camp. Okay. This is too early to be doing this camp. If you capture this camp right away, it's not really going to do anything. Especially because they're down here. So definitely not ideal. Defend here. So this is a good time to take a team fight. It's not 13, but you don't have Li Ming with you. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they were swapping.
So they get to perfectly time their camp. They also have... Okay, they're going to lose their 13 advantage at the very least. It's in race position. And you know that it's going to be in race position because that shows you which one's the aggressive, which one's the defensive. So you guys have actually been out racing when you are all 5 focusing on the objective. So I'd really like to see you guys focusing that race, making sure you get the halftime right away. If you guys are having trouble with DPSing the Immortal as poke damage, then what you can do is just kind of all in on defense after the halftime. So for the first one, definitely want to finish this race. This is very sloppy, I think. You guys are very slow to the race. They are able to take their camp and race faster than you guys just race right now. They get halftime first, and they get the camp out. So this is a big threat that you guys have to deal with eventually because it's going to go directly to core. 2 catapults plus the camp, that can do core damage, even this early in the game. So it's a little bit threatening. Somebody has to clear that eventually, but probably not for the next 10 to 15 seconds. So it's possible for you guys to take a fight very, very soon right now. It's either you do that or you probably have to give the objective entirely, which is really bad. So I think you guys need to be running at them. This is the aggressive one. This is the defense. So it's defensive positioning, which is pretty decent for you guys because you want to be fighting underneath the Immortal if possible. But you're on a clock. This is a timer. It's ticking. Okay. There's army. Anubrak disengages, arrow misses, and earthquake misses. This is huge. And here's a perfect opportunity for a nice stay a while. Oh, you get stunned out. It's unfortunate. Okay, so you land a decent root here. It's really nice. I think this works out pretty well for you guys. You get resets, resets, resets. Okay. 4 for 2 is a good trade. Oh, as long as you don't keep losing more. Rip. That's overchase. This still has to be cleared. It's really bad that you lost Varian there, actually. Varian should have been the one to be able to go clear while you guys finish racing. But Li Ming's really low, too. You have 1 potion here. Okay, good. Oof. Triple catapult now. Okay. Alright. So it's, even though you guys got a 4 for 1 trade, the net effect here is basically a reset. Nothing really changed, because you guys had to clear, and you lost Varian, so you weren't able to finish racing the objective afterwards. So it's not ideal. Their cooldowns versus your cooldowns. It looks like almost all your cooldowns are going to be up very soon, so I would look to force before Earthquake is available again. You're going to have Cocoon in 4 seconds. So as soon as you see this Zarya shield, actually, I think you guys should be looking to kill the Zarya right now. I would Cocoon maybe Tyrande or Arthas, and then all in on the Zarya. Here we go. But you gotta dive, you gotta dive. Oh, it's too late. Okay, so you're basically using your stay a while as a direct response to this Zarya ultimate. But the problem with it is that most of their teammates are not melee. So you're going to land your sleep typically only on Arthas and Zarya, which is going to get broken almost immediately because they're in the melee. So I would say with your stay a while, generally speaking, I'd like to see you try to use it in a way that will try and reach the backline. So if you were standing on this side, for example, if you could land it in this arc right here, it would be a little bit more impactful. But you're using your level 13 talent well. Excuse me. Ancient Blessings. I've seen it several times at good timing, so that's good. Alright, so you guys got a double kill here. It's really good. That should secure the objective, and if they continue to step up, you guys can still pressure them. Be sure you're close enough to follow up with your combo here, because I think you guys definitely can go for kills right now. Varian backs, I guess, to clear. Okay. It's going to push top lane. That's good. Okay. Decently large bot wave. You guys are going to have 16 advantage. So it's very important that you guys get a minimum of the fort and maybe the keep wall. I think that's probably all you're going to get. Execution-wise, I'd like to see you guys opening up the bottom wall right now. You have a new Brack Beetle, so it's pretty safe to do so. So the reason why you go for the wall first is just so you can get vision. You can potentially dive if they're out of position. Forces them to step further back. Varian goes bot here. Definitely don't like this. This is really bad. This is the same exact situation as before that lost you the keep. Having your solo laner go to the bot lane at this point of the game is a telltale way for the other team to say like, oh, okay, we get the free clear and we can maybe look for picks. So if I'm on their team right now and I'm Hanzo, he doesn't have that arrow, but in 13 seconds, I immediately go for an arrow and try and hard engage on your team. But everybody on their team should be able to step up a lot more aggressively now that Varian is showing. Doesn't look like they're playing that way for some reason. That's a mistake on their end, big time. Alright, you guys do have 16 for a little bit longer than... Yeah, they're not going to have it for a little while. Okay, Varian shows up now. That's good. I guess he just wanted to save the fort. I still think that was a liability. They didn't capitalize on it, though, so it's okay. Okay, so you guys get the wall. I think you guys have to be a lot more aggressive right now. You have a talent tier advantage, and the objective is pretty much underneath the fort. You're not going to have this talent tier advantage for very long, so you might as well take it right now. You have it in Nubrak, so there's no real threat that even if the objective dies, you'll still have beetles for a little while. I think you guys have to press your advantage. You have to go for a play right now. But it's too late now. Like, the objective's already dead. I would have liked to see you go for the play the moment that the gate goes down. It's too late, yeah.
Yeah, Tychus was thinking the same.
Yeah, it's just too late. I also prefer Odin here instead of the laser drill, because the laser drills, you can't move it. Odin moves with you, so definitely think that would have been more ideal. It would have been really nice for the defense as well. Tychus gets kind of... His range is pretty short, so having the Odin available for defense would have been really nice, not to mention pushing with it. Alright, so they have 16 talents here now. You're very far out on the map, so you don't want to take a fight. This is a situation where you want to race to get to this first, clear it. They have to clear a minion wave before they get there, so this should be free. Oh, no. Okay. So this just gives the camp, I think. Okay, no. You do it, it's just a little late. They do their camp. They timed this very poorly, though. This is very good for you guys. So now you rotate immediately to take this camp. Avoid fight. I don't think you guys want this. But it looks like you're taking it. Nope. Okay. It's not terrible to take a fight just because of the fact that you don't have a keep, which means that you're under macro pressure already, so you might as well, like, you have less to... I don't want to say less to lose. What should I say? If you play purely passively, you're slowly going to lose. So it's better to be more aggressive when you're on the back foot, essentially. Alright, so you just play safe, you clear. I do think you guys should have gone for this camp and then timed this one better. That'll give you the advantage for the next objective. Staying up here and clearing is eh. Okay, now you have to forego this camp due to the timing and just go for this one.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot on this map where I just kind of lose passively.
Yeah. So because you guys never went for this camp, you're essentially forfeiting it to them, but that gives you guys an advantage on the objective. So this is actually not the worst. They're probably going to get a free fort. Maybe not. Maybe this camp will deny this camp push, but you guys should be able to get halftime at the minimum. I don't think you guys take this. This is pretty bad. Okay. I'd much rather have seen you guys just rip the halftime. Because they have to be here anyway. They're probably going to take the camp. They have to clear this. So you might as well be in position to immediately burn the objective. There's just a lot of posturing here for no real reason. Yeah, this is... There's nothing to be gained by staying here. Basically, they have to stay here to clear the camp. So you staying here is just a bonus for them, because that means that you're not racing. All right. Okay. Try and dodge this? No. Okay. You go for the combo, and you go for a stay a while as well. Alright. Stay a while. It does go off before you get stunned. But Anubrak immediately dies. He doesn't get to use his cocoon. You guys get a kill. 2 kills. You got resets because of that. Can you get more? Good. Good. Nice. I think your route was fantastic. Ideally, you can step out of the... Zarya ultimate and then go for the your ultimate in this area from standing from here. That would be ideal, and then you don't you're not in any threat. But I think this works out pretty damn well. It's very important.
I got caught by that a lot.
Very important that you guys definitely get the objective. Have one person clear out top. That's basically all you guys really want to do right now. So you have your highest damage dealers go for the objective. That's these two. You have one person clear top, and maybe one person to catch bot soak. Maybe start taking a tower or something. Maybe a new Brack down here. Oh, a new Brack's dead. Never mind. You have only 4. That's fine. You just definitely don't want to have them able to free clear this, and it's better to be soaking this. So definitely have Varian in either in this bush or this bush. As far as Deckard, yeah, I'd rather see you be the one that's clearing up here because your race is a joke. Let Li Ming be the one to race because in 30 seconds, they're going to be back. So you want to get not just halftime, but halftime and then head start, essentially. Ugh, that doesn't look so good. Uh-oh. Okay, he comes back. All right. You guys are very slowly whittling this down. Okay. But you really don't want to fight underneath the objective, for sure.
This fight I regret the most.
This fight doesn't look fun. This looks like a lot of not fun. You have 3 circles underneath 3 of your heroes. Where's Deckard?
About to get
Oh, here. Yeah.
grabbed again.
Oh, man. You've been caught in, I think, every one of them this game. It's pretty rough.
Yep.
Okay, good dodge, or good a new Brack to eat that arrow there. You guys really want to disengage right now. Oh, damn. He gets caught by the stun. That's unfortunate. I think you're dead too because of the potion. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. Alright. Triple kill for them. All of that is just because you guys took a fight 5v5 underneath their immortal. And you never do that. Never, never, never. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so you still have 2 people alive, but they most likely, yeah, they just run straight at your core. Can you do this 2v5 defense? It's theoretically possible with Li Ming if she gets resets, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Oh, okay, it's possible. It's possible. She has to go in here, grab these. Okay, you're doing the right thing. I like this. This is hella possible to defend. Oh my god, this is a throw. No! Calamity! Hold on, I gotta watch this again. I gotta watch this again, because this is defendable.
I was thinking maybe if she full backed.
Yeah, if she had to back earlier so that she's not very low. She has a tap available as well, I think. No, she doesn't. Never mind, never mind. Nonetheless, okay. So Hanzo's dead right here. Just want to see this play. Oh, he gets rooted. Okay. But this is a Calamity. He should be Calamitying this right now. He gets heals by stepping up to the potions, and he gets a free kill and positions himself closer for these 2. And steps away from this guy. And then he blinks here. Yeah, big problem. He is Calamity, right? Yeah. Okay, so if he gets the Calamity reset here, then he can go for this kill as well. And he goes for it, but that's Calamity range. If he still has his blink, which he would, this is a dead target, this is a dead target, and then it's just one person on a 40% core. Ah, man, that feels really bad. There's nothing you can be doing better, honestly. Okay, so this game was lost very majorly based on understanding how to do the objective and where to approach it from and things of that nature, because you guys had a massive advantage on your timings for getting to the immortal for the most part, but you just didn't really capitalize on them. So you'd have halfway halftime almost every time you had that advantage, and then would lose it completely in the second rotation. And a lot of that came from either hard engaging underneath their immortal, or just trying to approach all from the same angle. So if you guys basically just changed how you approach the objective, I think you win this game every time. Like every single immortal would have been your guys if you play that either more passively or just smarter. As far as camp timings, there were definitely a few opportunities to take these camps that you guys could have gone for and to time this one slightly better, but without any doubt, this game was lost based on the positioning around the immortals, because you guys definitely had better. You guys were together on the immortal as soon as it spawned most of the time, and that gave you a big head start. And I think race-wise, you guys did have pretty darn good race. There were just a few times where you guys didn't all commit to it right away, and like when they were taking this camp. And you knew that they were going to go for the camp, and it was spawning in race position, and you guys were sort of loitering in this area, which is really bad. Other than that, I think that one of the big problems that you had was having Varian go to the bot lane or the opposite lane as the objective, when both times when you had talent tier equal, right? So when you have talent tier being equal, you never want to show that you have a solo laner in the off lane, because it tells the other team we can play really aggressive. It's the reason why you lost the keep, and that gives you that macro disadvantage the whole game. So if you're gonna do the soak thing, you have to not show vision. If you don't show vision, they don't know that you're not there. So they have to play a little more passive. Generally speaking, what you'll see most teams do is they'll try and do as much damage to the immortal as they can while defending, and as soon as it's very low, they look for a team fight. The solo laner can come in for a flank, and you can take a team fight because of the fact that they're really far away from their base. There's a lot of distance to cover before they get to safety. So that's definitely one of the things. And then also when your objective was pushing, Varian also was in the bot lane catching soak or whatever, but that was already at level 16. So when you get to that point in the game, splitting off to catch soak is almost never correct. Unless your goal is specifically to get to level 20, for example. If your composition is way stronger at level 20, that's fine, because then you just play very passive and let the immortal do its own thing. You guys might as well push as 5 in the bot lane instead of pushing with the objective in that situation. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's take a look at your build real quick. Field Study, Ruby, Cube Mastery, Stay a While, Ancient Blessings, Scroll of Stone Curse. Okay, so tell me a little bit about why you pick Field Study.
I don't think the quest is that reliable for me.
Okay.
So it's just kind of hard to justify picking sometimes. And then I just really wanted to try Ruby.
Fair enough. You can still do Ruby with the was it Emerald or no? Sapphire, right. So Sapphire, in this situation, I would probably take Sapphire just because it guarantees your roots 100%. I think you still landed them really well. So this game, you probably could have gone for the quest. I think that you landed a lot of really powerful roots. I think your positioning was fantastic for them. I feel like Field Study is just kind of not really helping you that much in this match.
Yeah, I didn't get much Ruby value because of what you said about a noob.
Yeah, I think the problem with Ruby here is just that it's like encouraging your team to play a style that it's not. It wasn't terrible, but against their composition, I probably would have gone for... I probably would have gone for the additional healing over time and mana return, honestly, into this comp. Because they don't have something that screams to me burst protection to me, there's a lot of poke damage between the Thrall, the Hanzo, and the Zarya. A lot of poke damage. So you want to be able to keep your teammates topped off. And not to mention mana back for Li Ming is really nice. And then Cube Mastery here. I mean, you were landing really solid combos, but I don't think you actually needed a reduced cooldown on your scroll. I think that the reduction of damage would have been more impactful, because there were a lot of times where when the fight broke out, the fight was over within 10 seconds. So having that damage reduction instead of, reducing the cooldown could have prevented some of your teammates potentially from dying in that 10-second window, right?
Yeah.
Stay a while, I think, was the correct choice here. I think you could have used it a little bit better, but primarily the problem that I had with your positioning and with Stay a While was that you got caught a lot of times in the Graviton, and that just comes from, I think, there were times where you could have walked out of it, but just were very focused on landing your combo. Generally speaking, when you use Stay a While, it should be to save somebody else, not yourself. Because if you're using it to save yourself, most of the time it won't work, because you're channeling it for 3 seconds. And it's very likely that somebody else is going to either interrupt you or that the people that you're sleeping, even if it goes off, will they'll get broken out. So definitely I want to see a little bit better placements for the Stay a Whiles. Ancient Blessings was on point. You did it. Great timings. Scroll of Stone Curse, I think you were landing 2+ heroes very frequently, so that was fantastic. Yeah, so I think that your build could have been adjusted slightly, but I think this game was mostly lost from a macro standpoint.
Yeah.
Definitely winnable game.
That last fight was hard.
Definitely winnable. Do you have any questions for me?
Just that last fight under the Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, I'm thinking, I think we get 20 first, so let's just do that and then look for a kill not underneath theirs, hopefully under ours.
So this was one of the situations before that even took place where you guys should have been right here because you knew that they were down here and they had to clear. So this is just overstaying down here. And then what was the other time where you got 21st? Let's take a look.
We were like 19 and they were a little bit.
This fight breaks out.
It wasn't this fight.
Not this one. Oh, this was the 4-for-1, right? So yeah, it's a little bit crazy to me that you guys got a 4-for-1 and then don't win this objective. You know what I mean? Because this objective never gets finished in this game. They just go straight for core after they kill you guys. Okay. You guys don't have 20 yet.
But I'm like, maybe we should have just waited out 20.
Oh, in that situation? Yeah. There's no immediate hurry. You definitely want to be posturing closer to the top side. That's the side that you have catapult pressure heading towards your base, so you can be catching soak, preventing them, the katas, from approaching, and forcing them to try to come at you on your defensive side. And then if you want to take a team fight, you have all this room to do it where you don't have to worry about the Immortal stuns. Taking it underneath the Immortal is just really, really reckless. Especially into an Arthas. It's very dangerous. Unfortunate. But yeah, there were still no 20s. I think you guys could have played it for 20. You guys were slightly ahead on experience. You guys had a few options, but I think the best one was to play 4-man defense, 1-person soak, get 20, and then press up and finish the objective with 20. Or if somebody overextends underneath the Immortal, then you can force a fight, and the person who's soaking can immediately join, even if it's not level 20 yet. Still worth doing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, any other questions?
No, that's it. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. All right, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care.